Facebook's parent company Meta is acquiring a social media app for AI bots. Moltbook's creators build it as a social network for AI agents. Now, a Meta spokesperson says the move opens up new ways for AI agents to work for people and businesses. AB's News tech reporter Mike Dubusky is here for more. So, Mike, we talked about this a little last month with these bots going on and having all these conversations with each other. And you, at the time, said that Moltbook was almost like these bots were putting on a play for humans to watch. Is it still that, or do you think it's evolved since then?
So a couple things have changed since that period, Diane. From what we understand, Moltbook has kind of collapsed in terms of usership. When we were talking last, there were about 1.6 million accounts that had been registered there, of course, meaning AI agents that had been instructed to register there. This morning, I was glancing at their front page. It's less than 200,000. So activity has kind of gone down since its initial period of virality. Maybe we should have expected that given just kind of the nature of how social media works. Things kind of come and go. In addition to that, like we talked about how these agents kind of replicate certain human writings, right? Like these ideas that AIs can go rogue are all in the training data of these AI agents. Well, we also learned that a lot of the activity on Moltbook was kind of just fake. It was people instructing their bots to say certain things that would be attention-getting, and that was a piece of that as well. So it has changed a little bit, but now, of course, the latest chapter is that Meta wants a piece of this action, and they're acquiring this platform.
If the usership is down so significantly, so quickly, why does Meta want to own Moltbook?
Yeah, it's a really good question. On its surface, I think it makes some degree of sense. I mean, Moltbook bills itself as a social network, albeit one for AI agents, and Meta is a social media company, right? They kind of just want another platform in their area. But again, because usership is so small, it kind of like casts doubt on exactly how useful that would be to them. Meta does find itself behind in the AI race in a pretty significant way. We understand that, the latest models from Google and OpenAI and Anthropic all kind of outstrip Meta's best efforts. Maybe they see the sort of intelligence and the team at Moltbook coming on board at Meta as a way to change that calculus a little bit. We'll have to see what actually happens in terms of the platform and whether that actually gets integrated into some of Meta's own, services.
A few months ago, I spoke with the authors of If Anyone Builds It, Everyone Dies, and they talk about the existential threat a super intelligent AI could pose really to humanity. How seriously do you think these tech companies take warnings like that?
Yeah, it's a really existential question in Silicon Valley right now. The difference between people who think that we should put the brakes on AI development and we should think about properly regulating it. We should think about, what sort of oversight these tech companies should have before we press forward with developing this potentially very powerful technology. The other side of the argument is basically an accelerationist argument that we can't take our foot off the gas, that we need to develop this technology as fast as possible, kind of guardrails off to the side, because we're in a race and we want to be at the front of that race, especially when adversaries who might not have as many good interests at heart are also developing this same technology. That's kind of the fight that's going on right now. And it seems like a lot of the heads of these companies fall on one side of that argument.